would like to say hello, welcome to Becoming a Person of Influence. We're on chapter 3. A person of influence has faith in people. A person of influence has faith in people, where we're able to multiply, mentor, motivate, faith, model. So we want to multiply, mentor, motivate in the faith model. And so when we're talking about faith, what you think when we talk about multiply, mentor, motivate, faith model, what that look to you when you multiply, mentor, motivate the faith model?
There's something that South Africans usually say when Winnie Mandela died. It said, she did not die, but she multiplied, which means that her strength, her courage, her character, whatever that she was, did not die when she died, but she left other seeds behind. So that works, I think, goes for people who are mentors and leaders, because when you're a leader or a mentor, you try to create more of you.
Mm-hmm.
And so, yeah, I think that would be my understanding.
Yeah, basically that's basically what you want to model more of who you are. And when you hear have faith in people, what comes to mind? Now, I did look up the definition. I like 2 definitions of faith. The first definition of faith is confidence or trust in a process or thing. Belief that is not based on proof. I love the second definition of faith. Belief that is not based of proof. There's no evidence. You don't need to see it or understand it. You don't need proof. And I know that will be a little hard for our C people, our analytical people, because they need to see the data before they able to have faith in it. If they don't see the data or they don't see it, like our Dallin Thomas, sees it like Dallin Thomas, and they don't see the scars of Jesus, if they don't see the proof, then they don't believe it or they won't do it. So, for our C people, our analytical people, that's a little tough to walk in faith for some people. But when you're in faith, you don't need proof to take action. And so what comes to your mind, Lady Siza, when you hear faith in people?
For me, faith is just Hebrews 11 verses 1.
Now
faith is. And I think what you've just defined speaks of that's a similar faith. It's now faith is the substance of things that are hoped for. So whatever that you hope for, but evidence of things that are not seen. So you don't have to see it to believe that it's there. So in the context of leadership as well, I believe when you believe in people,
mm-hmm.
even though they have not become what you want them to be, but you believe that they will be what they're supposed to be, or purpose to be, then that's what faith. Having faith in people means that you don't look at their now, but you look at their future self.
Yes, yes. Yeah, look at their future. That's basically what it is, having faith in people. And what it comes to mind is seeing their future selves and not their present self. Not, because sometimes we can, if we feel like if we don't see the facts of what they're going to become or who they are, then we can't believe what they say or what they speak of or what we see at that present state. So believing in people, regardless of what you see, you don't need to have all the facts to believe in them and to speak into their life and to encourage them to be the best version of themselves. And we would learn and we would see when we go through the mastermind today, that when you have faith in people, then people will do more. You know, when you encourage people, people would do more and take action with their life because of the belief from others. And so now we want to get into facts about faith in people. Facts about faith in people. Faith in people is an essential quality of an influencer when working with others. That is so faith is important, is a vital quality if you want to be an influencer with working with other people. You know, you just can't say that you have faith. And a lot of people say they have faith, but their actions don't say it. You know, I love the scripture when Jesus talked about you say you love me with your mouth, but your actions don't say that you love me. Your actions don't speak that you care about me, that you are doing my will. But you say you love me, but your actions are not showing it. So, you know, to have faith in people is more than just mere words. You know, it's more than just mere words. It, like my wife always say, faith is an action word. And so, you know, because a lot of times we can say we have faith in people or faith in something, but, you know, when you have faith in people, you won't have no judgment upon someone else. You know, you're gonna show up when you say you're gonna show up when you say you're gonna when you're gonna be there, when you're a part of something. So when you have faith for someone, and when you have faith for somebody, I just thinking about it. You're gonna give them grace as well, because you're gonna realize that we're not perfect. But even when someone make a mistake, and when someone mess up, because you have faith in them, you're gonna look past their mistakes, and you're gonna continue to encourage them and continue to be there for them, to motivate them and inspire them to be their best version of themselves. And so, 4 facts about faith. Most people don't have faith in themselves, and that is true. I think that's majority of people. They don't have faith in themselves. They look for other people, or they look in other people to have faith in. You know, they look on media, they look at celebrities, they look at entertainers, and they see what they're doing to get faith. And as a start, that could be okay, because we always could use somebody else, and so that we can believe that it's possible. And just like when we, you know, for us people that are saved, we look at those people in the Bible, and we feel like if they could do it, we could do it. We look at David. We love David when he defeated Goliath. So there's nothing wrong with looking to others as a start, but eventually you have to look within yourselves. And but we know, most people don't have faith in themselves. That's majority of us, especially those individuals that they have a home and they didn't see faith from their parents or from their siblings. When they have those people surrounding them that believe in them, so you will see it a lot in those individuals that don't have a home, that supported system inside that home. You definitely see it in those type of people. Most people don't have someone who has faith in them. Most people can tell when someone has faith in them, they will do the impossible if you demonstrate faith in them. And like we discussed, when you demonstrate that you have faith in someone, they will do the impossible. They would go the extra mile. They would, go beyond the expectation of the next individual. So, but here's the thing: people can sense when you believe in them. Their intuition. They know. Because they get that's why Jesus was able to say, "Your words say you love me, but your actions don't," because he gets sense that they didn't really have faith in that individual, and so people sense it, and so you can't fake it that you believe in someone, because your actions will show your belief in that individual. You like to add anything, Lady Siza?
No, you're absolutely right. I mean, it's all about action, and when somebody doesn't believe in you, you can just sense it. You can just feel it.
You can feel it.
Yeah. Sometimes they don't have to ask for anything, but by just their actions around you,
yes,
then you know that they believe in you or not.
Yes, because sometimes people change too. Sometimes they can believe in you in the beginning, and then they stop believing in you. And you can sense when people change their movement. Maybe they did believe in you, and then they change, and now they don't believe in you. So the thing is, you want to be. Here's that word again: consistent. If you believe in someone, if you trust someone, then your actions should show forth, and you shouldn't change it. And we should be like this with everyone, and that's the goal: is to have faith in everyone we come upon, because we want to be an influencer. So we want to touch everyone's lives that we in contact with, not just some people, or not choosing who we're gonna encourage or have faith in, but we want to be able to encourage and influence everyone that we come in contact. That's the influencer. Someone that don't pick and say, "Oh no, I like this one, and so I'm gonna believe in this." So I have no. Everyone you have contact with, you show faith in them, you believe in them, and you do what you can to support them. And so, because people can sense it when you believe in them. The goal is always to get them to think more highly of themselves and not you. And a lot of times, we try to make ourselves look more highly to others, and when it should be the opposite. We should make everyone else look. We should make them look more highly from us. When we speaking of them, we should make them look more highly than we try to look more highly. Basically, you want to take the high road. You want to take the high road instead of saying, "Oh man, I know I did a good job," or there's you always putting yourself out there. But the goal is always to make them look more highly. You by encourage them, and just by motivating them, and just by having instilling that faith in them. You pointed out the things they did well, so that they will see their abilities. They will see what they can do and be able to value themselves. Because most people will do anything to live up to your faith in them. When you believe in the individual, when you let them see themselves and where they have, when they are more highly of themselves, you know, most people do anything to live up to your faith or your expectation in them. I love what the book says, that people rise and fall to meet your level of expectation for them. When you have faith in others, you give them an incredible gift. You like to speak on that? People rise and fall to meet your level of expectation for them. When you have faith in others, you give them an incredible gift. What you think of that? When you have faith in others, you give them an incredible gift.
Yeah, because it's always nice to know that someone believes in you, because having faith is parallel to believing in someone. So it's not necessarily just hoping and wishing that they succeed, but you believe that they will succeed. So it's always a good feeling to know that you have someone backing you up in just believing. They don't even have to say or do anything. They just have to believe in you, and that's enough. That's enough.
Yeah, and it's a credible gift, because, you know, when you could change a lot of people, you could change the world, you know, when you start becoming an influence and allowing people to become more highly of themselves, man, you can make a difference on other people that will impact themselves, and in the long run will impact yourself. You know, and that's why it's very vital not to look on yourself, but make them think more highly of themselves. That will benefit them as well as you, because if they win, you win. You know, if they succeed, you succeed. And so, you know, a lot of times we try to throw it on us, but when we can understand that it's a gift, it's an incredible gift, when we can allow people to see themselves and in high esteem, you know, it will have a huge benefit in everyone's lives that you come in contact with, or they come in contact with, and a movement can get started. Great things can happen, and things to begin to start flourishing. Now, I would like to ask you a question, Lady Siza. How can you help others have faith in themselves?
By just being there for them, you know, and encourage them, motivate them, inspire them, mentor them. There's so much that you can do for people to believe in themselves. But more than anything, it's just to show them that you do, because sometimes you just say things as lip service, like we said, but if your actions say otherwise, they will sense it, they will know. So, you know, just do what you can to help them also believe in themselves, because all people need sometimes is for someone to believe that they believe in themselves, or to help them believe in themselves.
Yes. I would like to add another word, is support. Support them. And
did I not say support? I did.
No, you didn't say support.
I said a lot of words.
You said a lot of them. Yeah, you said a lot, and which was all good. But I just want to add support, because these are some things that we just said to help others have faith in themselves and to show support. Because when people see support, then they will continue. You know, they will continue the race. They won't look like a failure. They won't, you know, they won't feel hopeless, because they feel like they have support from 1, 2, 10, 100 people that will be there for them. That they were like, you know what, regardless of what happened, I know I have these people that's going to support me and be there for me. And so yes, and it would give them a fighting chance, and that's what everyone needs today. They need a fighting chance to keep going, and especially when we are going through this in a crisis, whatever it may be, sickness, um, whatever, mental health, mental illness. When you help others to have faith in themselves, they will keep fighting to live another day. They will keep fighting to overcome their challenges, to overcome that crisis, to overcome their weakness that they may have. When you help others to have faith, because we all have weakness, we all have challenges, we all need encouragement, and not a lot of us is like David. With David, we read the scripture, say David said he encouraged himself because he didn't get it. He didn't get it from the people that was around him. Not everybody like that. Not everybody like David. Some people need that support system, that community. And I'm so glad for the community that we are building. It gives people hope. It gives them a fighting chance to take advantage of the next opportunity window, regardless of where they are right now, regardless of what situation you are in. It gives them a fighting chance to keep going, because your situation, your condition where you are can change. It can change, but the only thing, in order for it to change, though, you have to have the faith in yourself, so that it allowed you to keep fighting, to keep pursuing for better. And so you like that. What you think on that thought that I just said, Lady Siza? Because I like that. What you think?
What was that?
That that your situation is not permanent; it's temporary, and your situation can change, but you just need to believe in yourself, and in order for that situation to change, so that it give you a fighting chance to keep going. What you think of that?
Yeah, I absolutely agree. And I really agree with David, who, who decided to encourage himself. Because when you lack faith, because I'm just going through the book a little bit here, it's saying it's tougher to believe in people who have not proved themselves. So what if you come across a person that you need to inspire or mentor or lead that has not proved themselves, like they have not had a chance to prove themselves? What happens in that case? So that person must just encourage themselves that they will make it, so that they prove themselves right.
Yeah.
Because it's said that people want the experience from people who are required to be believed in. It's like going to applying for a job, and they say they want so much experience, but they paying such little money. Of course, the people that are going to apply are college students, and college students don't have the experience, So it's that kind of situation. So a college student would go in and prove themselves for the company to believe in them, even though there's no substance, or evidence or reference to show that they can do the job. So I'm looking at it in that term, like you got to prove yourself for people to believe in you in order for them to have faith in you. Woo.
Yes, that is so true, and it's sad. It is sad that we come into a society, like in the book, they reference that too, that that supportive community. Years ago, nobody really had to prove themselves to show what they can do. That supportive community would nourish that in that individual, because of that support, because of that belief in them. They didn't have to show it. But now we come to a society where we had to prove ourselves first before anybody believe in us. And what kind of faith is that, when I got to prove myself first before you believe in me.
Well, I guess, people
That's
don't
like,
want to waste their time on people who are not serious. I mean, I think I resonate with what they're saying, that you got to prove yourself. Like, yes, some people need people to believe in themselves from the word go, but at the same time, like, I'll make an example. We were supposed to have this young man join us who wanted me to mentor him.
uh-huh.
And I thought this would be a great platform for the mentoring, because this is a good mastermind. But guess what? He made an excuse the first time. He's not even made an attempt the second time. So how do I have faith in someone who over and over shows himself not to be trustworthy? So this mastermind was kind of a test. So people will kind of test you, and you don't know that you're in a test.
Yeah.
That to put in all their hope and trust in you. People want to help people who want to be helped, because it's easy for people to say, "Oh, can you mentor me?" But they don't want to put in the work.
Mm-hmm. And the thing is, you're right, that people don't want to put in the work, but sometimes people don't believe in themselves, and you got to give them that extra push. So even like,
you can only push so much. There's a saying that says you can take a camel to the water, but you cannot make the camel drink.
Look, what I mean by showing them, like, just by support, you don't have to put time in to show people support. A lot of times, just by like you always mention about a text message, just an inspiring word, so that they can see it, read it, and then believe in themselves. That's something it don't take much time, because, like I said, that was a test. Maybe he's saying excuse after excuse after excuse. And we don't want to give up on people, and that's what we want to do. We want to continue we want to be an influencer where we don't give up on people, because we don't know their situation, and sometimes we don't want to waste our time either. And so we don't want to give up on people, but we also want to waste our time. And so but we don't have to waste our time. Like, okay, they didn't show up. We continue to move on. But I use another tactic or something else to encourage them or to motivate them, so they can believe in themselves, so they can.
Not for me. No, because we live such busy lives, and it's not because I'm trying to be spiteful, but I've given you a chance. If you really wanted my help, you would grab that chance with both hands and run with it. Yeah. But if you continuously over and over don't show that you're interested, then I'm not the person that you need to help you.
Look, it's just like I just got this, just like I'm gonna give you an example. These text messages that you receive from networks and people that are trying to get your attention or trying to get you to.
I just keep ignoring them.
Exactly, you keep ignoring them, right? But they don't stop doing it because you ignore them.
But those people are not believing in you.
No,
they have hope that you'll one day buy from them.
Yes, you missed the point. That's the point I'm trying to get you. It's not that they don't believe in you. The point I want you to do it, even though you keep ignoring it, they keep sending it anyway.
It's automated.
It's all exactly. It's all. That's the thing. What you do is you automate the process so that people could believe in themselves, because if they hoping that one day, if they keep sending it, maybe you're going to be moved or touched and say, you know what? I've been receiving this text messages. I've been receiving this on a consistent basis. Maybe let me try it. Let me see it. And that's what it is. When you believe in somebody, you're not wasting your time, but maybe just automating a process or showing a way just by text messages on a continuous basis, because maybe they don't believe in it right now. but through your continual efforts. Your continual efforts of keep doing. Oh, thank you, Holy Ghost. Oh my God, thank you, Holy Ghost. I didn't think of the scripture. The woman went to the unjust judge in Luke. Her continual efforts that she thought in her mind, she caused the judge to change his mind. Because he like, you know what? If I don't give this woman what she wants, if I don't give this woman what she wants, she's gonna keep coming to me, bugging me. And that's what I'm talking about when we want to be an influencer, because there's a lot of people that don't believe in themselves, and they will make excuses because of that belief. And because remember I said earlier, because sometimes we lived our life without that support system, without that support of home, and so it's hard to believe in ourselves, and we make all kinds of excuses. We don't know why we make excuses, but we do. We make all kinds of excuses because we don't want to be real with ourselves. There it is. We don't want to be real with ourselves, so we rather make an excuse why we didn't show up. But as an influencer, it's about, just sending a text message and just get them an encouraging word, just so they can see belief in it. Like I said, a lot of times we as influence, we have messages anyway. And so during that message, you could just send out the, like, we discussed last week when you said you received a text message from somebody else, and then you send it to somebody else. That didn't take long. That, all you're doing is just encouraging them so they can believe in themselves. So that now, if they keep seeing that text message, they get a little more faith, a little more momentum, like we discussed on the podcast, the little engine that could, taking one step at a time. Why don't keep seeing it? They just going a little further, taking another step, and then one day they show up on the mastermind. That's progress. Right now, they just need to believe in themselves, and your action, maybe that text message or that message or that inspiring word that you sent them, gave them a little more faith to go on. And then they graduate and they go to the next step. And then the next day they go to the next step. And then one day you see them on the mastermind. Oh, that's growth. And then the next time you see them enter into the community. And then the next time you see them listen to the podcast. And then the next time you see them joining a training session or whatever it may be, that they take your course. That's growth. That's growth where they believe in themselves and say, you know what, I can do this. And then one day they create their own course. they start their own community. Why? Because they took the faith and just believe in themselves, just reading that message, and then they join the mastermind, and then they join your training, and they join your course, and that leads up to becoming and building their own platform. And so that's what we. And then faith is belief and action, and belief and action. Because sometimes we can get worried out as influencers, because we feel like, oh man, they don't want it. They're not serious. But we still have faith in what we are doing, regardless of what other people are doing. Faith is belief and action. Like we always discuss, we know this, you say it all the time, faith is an action word. Faith is more than thinking something.
Love is an action word. But love is an action word.
But yes, love.
But yes. You're not far from it. Faith is also an action word because you have to believe. You have to believe. To have faith. Yes, you have to believe to have faith. Yes. Love it. I thank you for correcting me. Sweet. I thank you. I appreciate that. But faith is more than thinking something is true faith. Is thinking something. Faith is more than thinking something is true. Faith is thinking something is true to the extent that we act on it. What you think about that? Faith is more than thinking something is true. Faith is thinking something is true to the extent that we act on it. Because you're believing that it's a substance of things that are hopeful
Yes.
and evidence of things that are not seen. So you're believing that it's already there.
Already there.
So the statement is accurate.
Even though you're not getting the results at that moment, but you still believe and you still move into action regardless of the result at the moment. That's faith in action. Because in the beginning, you won't see the results. In the beginning, you won't see the results in the beginning. And even when people just starting out in their journey, of believing in themselves, they don't see the results in the beginning. But we want to help them to continue going and to motivate them, and hopefully, even with ourselves, hopefully we can have people that believe in us, because we all need motivation. We all need support. So as we influence others, hopefully we have other people that will support us and influence us, so that it helps us to keep going, because we all need support. We all need influence. We all get down. Even David gets down. David got down, and he looking for support and others. But until then, like, I love David. For those individuals that can't believe in themselves, David said, "I encourage myself until I got the support, until I was able to prove what I can do. Say, I'm gonna believe in myself regardless. If you don't believe in me, I'm gonna encourage myself. I'm not gonna, because I know we're gonna come out. Because why? Because David, David, they had the support. That's why he was able to encourage himself. Because David believed that God had, he was influenced by God. He believed that God had his back regardless of it. So David was influenced. That's why he was able to encourage himself, because he believed that God had his back regardless, because he realized, I beat the bear, I beat the lion, and God was always there with me through all my tests and trials. And so I would like to ask you, what steps are you willing to take to increase others' faith in themselves? Huh?
Support them.
Promote them.
Support them.
Support them. Yes, support them. I agree.
I think when you support someone, even at their beginning, it shows that you have faith in them.
Yes. Yes. I agree. Even and not looking for anything in return.
No. Support them before they become somebody that's worth supporting.
Yes, that worth. Support them before they become something that worth supporting. I like that. Yeah, not because and something.
When you've made it, you don't necessarily need support. That's why it amazes me when people support celebrities more than their family and friends. Celebrities have made it already.
Yeah, they made it.
Why are you not supporting the little person that really needs your support, but you're going after somebody who doesn't even know you, and they may never even know you?
Yeah.
They're already accomplished. Why are you not supporting the little people that really would be happy to get a support from you?
Yeah, could not realize it. When you support people in the beginning, you are there from the beginning. And so guess what? Why
you forget you.
You supporting yourself.
And also they'll never forget you. They'll always go who had their backs when they were nobodies.
When they were trying to do something, when they were trying to go after someone, they can remember you. And because of that, they remember you. You will always be, basically, their wins will be your wins. Yeah. And so that's the point that I'm trying to get to. When you influence other people and you're showing support and you're helping them and you're encouraging them and you allow them to see faith in themselves, when they win, you win, because they will never forget you. When you go out and you're trying to support people that already made it, they don't know you. They don't feel their support because they already got all the support. They don't. So that support that you give them, they don't feel it. But those
like family, it's like family and friends who, when you're posting something, they will like everybody else's post, but not yours.
Not yours. Yeah. And when you're doing it, they feel your support. And so when they feel your support, guess what? When they win, you win. And so I like that. And so how to become a believer in people. And we already discussed, believe in them before they succeed. Believe in them before they succeed. Because if you believe in them after they succeeded, that's not support. That's not.
So you are now a groupie.
Yeah, you're a groupie now. Yeah, that's a great terminology.
Yeah.
You're a groupie now.
Or a fan.
Yeah, you're a fan. That's not support. That's not having faith in them. You're a fan. You're a groupie of them because now you want to be a part of them, of their popular.
Associated with them because you look good knowing that people know that, oh, you know this person.
Yeah.
But when they were building towards becoming that person, you were not there.
You were not. Yes. Yeah. So you want to believe in them before they succeed, because if the individual has a little faith like David did, because that's all a person needs. It just Jesus said it best. If you just have faith as a seed of a mustard seed, you could tell that. Huh?
If you have faith as small as a mustard.
As a mustard seed, as small as a mustard seed, you could tell that sycamore tree to be uprooted, and it will be uprooted. You could tell that mountain to move, and it will move. All you need is just a little faith. And so, and people glance that they can take off, because regardless of where they are right now, because every successful person started somewhere. Every successful person started somewhere, and they needed that little faith to keep going. They needed that little support. And guess what? Every successful person, they wherever they could find that support, it was their mother, their wife, their children, their closest friend, maybe a person on the street, wherever that believed in them, they took it and they ran with it. They took it and they ran with it. I like even Michael Jordan. Michael Jordan was so competitive. He even made up. He made up things so that he could continue that competitive age. So even you sometimes, and that's sometimes you have to do. If you don't have support from people, sometimes you gotta make up support. I just said something. Sometimes you might have to make up support so that you can keep going. Encourage yourself, yeah. Sometimes, but yeah, because you gotta believe in them before they succeed. But it's very right. I like Marshall Fernay saying, I don't know how to pronounce his name. I butcher his name a little bit. I butcher his name. There are no hopeless situations. I love that. There are no hopeless situations. There are only men and women who have grown hopeless about them. There are no hopeless situation. There's no hopeless situation. I don't care where we are right now. There is no hopeless situation. Joel said it best. Just the scent of water, it will bud. Just the sense of encouragement, just a sense of motivation, inspiring word, just a sense of support, it will bud. That individual will bud. So even when we feel discouraged and we feel hopeless, just a sense of the word, you will bud. Because nothing is hopeless. You're not hopeless. We're not hopeless. That individual is not hopeless. All they need is someone that will believe in them. I read in the chapter about how 90% of parents, they tell us, they used to tell us, you know, if you do that, you're gonna go to jail. And it's so true. They don't say the positive, they always speak the negative, not knowing that they really hurting us. They really hurting us because they speaking negative. So we want to emphasize their strengths. Praise them for what they do well, privately and publicly. List their past successes. Everyone wants to feel important and store confidence when they fall. Show them that success is a journey, a process, and not a destination. Success is not a destination, it's a journey. It's taking one step at a time. Lining up the staircase, one step at a time. It's not a destination, because if we make success a destination, when we get success, or when the individual gets success, they feel like they arrived. But when they see a journey, when they get success, they to continue to go to the next success.
Michelle Obama.
What happened?
Michelle Obama says it well. She says we are becoming every day until we die.
We are becoming every day until we die. That's so true. And so never let the fear of striking out get in the way. You're going to strike out. In baseball, they strike out. They get a hit 3 out of 10 times. 3 out of 10 times. That means they might foul down, they might have got out, pop out, strike out, whatever may happen, 7 times. And maybe have success 3 out of 10 times. But they don't allow down 7 outs get in their way to their 3 hits. So you're gonna fail more than you win. You're gonna fail more than succeed. People gonna fail more than succeed. But we don't want that to get in our way, or we don't want that to get in our way to influence others and to help other people. Because we made more mistakes than we succeeded. And so that by doing that, experience some wins together. You know, that is so cool. You know, if you have some wins, you know, experience some wins, bring somebody along with you and show them the ropes. Because when you're winning and they win with you, then that also encourages people to go further. When people sense victory, I love what the book says. It said when people sense victory, they sacrifice to succeed. They look for ways to win. They become energized. They follow the game plan. They help other team members. But when people sense defeat, they give as little as possible. They look for excuses. They become tired. They forsake the game plan. They hurt others. And this is so true. How many people that you know, maybe they've been defeated. They look for all types of excuses not to show up, not to be there. They look for every excuse possible because they felt defeated. Instead of just moving forward and just going forward. They look for excuse not to be, not understanding when they don't show up, they hurting themselves. Not just they hurting the team, but they also hurting themselves, because when you're supporting other people and you influence other people and you motivate others, they win, but you win at the same time. And when you make an excuse and you forsake the game plan, you're hurting everybody as well as yourself. And so, you know, we want to always show people and give them that sense of victory so they can continue sacrificing to succeed, look for ways to win, becoming energized, follow the game plan, and help other team members. So we want to continue to help people to sense victory and not sense defeat. Visualize their future success. And we already mentioned that we want to visualize their future success, see them in their future self. It has been said that a person can live 40 days without food, 4 days without water, 4 minutes without air, but only 4 seconds without hope. Expect a new level of living. Putting your faith in others involved taking a chance. So today, take a chance on other people, regardless of where they at. So I'd like to ask you before we close, what is your greatest fear about allowing yourself to have faith in others?
What's my greatest fear?
About allowing yourself to have faith in others.
That they might not achieve what I believe for them. You know, maybe they don't want it as much as I want it for them. Because sometimes you want something for people more than they want it for themselves.
That's true.
And maybe they're believing that they cannot do it. As much as you inspire, motivate, support, do all the necessary work, but they still just don't believe in themselves. You cannot, like I said earlier, you can take a camel to drink, to the water, but you cannot force the camel to drink.
That's so true. And the greatest fear could be you doing all this and they don't show up and you're wasting time.
Yeah.
That could be the greatest fear. Like you're doing all this.
Yeah.
To inspire others, and you're wasting your time. That could, like, man, I'm wasting my time. Do all this, and I could be wasting my time. That could be another greatest fear about allowing yourself to have faith in others. But regardless of you striking out, I love that quote. Babe Ruth said, regardless of me striking out 3 out of 10 times, I don't let it get in my way. See, because I love this, because it's great to know about the fears so that we know it's there and it can happen. And we don't allow it to get away. See, that's why baseball players can keep going, even though they know they're going to strike out or get out 7 out of 10 times. But they keep going because they know there's a possibility. 3 out of 10 times, they're going to get a hit. They know the fear is there. 7 out of 10 times, I'm going to get out. But because I know that I can get out 7 out of 10 times, I know that already. So I won't be defeated because I know. So because I know that I could be wasting my time, or I know that because, I could be pouring into people and believing in others and they don't believe in themselves. Because of those the fears that I have, I know that already. I don't have to worry when it happens because I know it's a possibility. So I don't allow that to get in my way. Ooh, that's good. And so I'd like to ask you today, what can you do to overcome that fear? What can you do to overcome that fear?
Fear of what? Of
the things we just mentioned. What is your greatest fear about allowing yourself to have faith in others?
Well, I guess just keep believing that people will come around. They will soon realize that you do believe in them, and they can become what you see that they can become. Just keep supporting, don't give up on them, keep inspiring, keep motivating.
Yes, and I agree. And another one too, the one I just mentioned, knowing the fears, being aware of what can happen. Knowing the fears, being aware of what can happen, can help overcome those fears. Now, application, and it's in the book. This is what we're gonna do for next week. Homework: having faith in people checklist. Find a strength that you can encourage in somebody. Find a strength that you can motivate, because everyone has strengths. And so you want to see the good qualities in them and just mention it to them. Just text them, let them know their strengths. And if you don't know a person's strengths, or you don't know what they're good in, that means you need to spend some more time with that individual. I like how the book said it. If you don't know that person's strength, that means you need to spend enough time with that individual and need to spend more time with them to find their strength. And then build on past successes. Talk about what they've done in the past that worked for them. Now, I like what Paul say. We're not looking what's behind us. Like, we're not, dwelling on the past. That's gonna keep us in the past. But we're gonna build on past successes that will allow us to strive towards our future self. So build on past success, build on it, and so that it allows us to keep moving forward, not stay in the back. No, help others overcome defeat. Help someone next week to overcome defeat. And then start off right. Things do not go wrong. Things start off wrong. So start off right. Because things do not go wrong. Things start off wrong. And so what one thing could you do this week to grow your faith in people? One thing. I ain't say two, I ain't say three, I ain't say five. One thing you could do this week. I think we mentioned a lot of them. Yeah. Just so important.
Good person and just keep believing.
What happened? Speaking to the
one person and keep believing in them.
Yeah. And just maybe through a text message, maybe inspiring word, maybe text messages. Scripture, whatever. Just to so they can go their faith. And then ask someone to hold you accountable. Ask someone to hold you accountable. And we will discuss this next week. And we will read chapter 4. Chapter 4. So
a person of influence listens to people.
What happened?
A person of influence listens to people.
Yes, I think that will be a good one. Person of influence listen to people. Because like a lot of times we so in a rush to speak instead of talking, instead of listening. So definitely
listening is a skill.
It is a skill, yes. So we're gonna talk on chapter 4. Thank you for joining this mastermind. I appreciate your support. Thank you. Regardless of how it looks, we will win. We will become better influences. That's what it's all about. Becoming better influences and inspiring others, regardless how it look.